First of all, we must be aware of Deng Xiaoping's contextual knowledge and experience that he actually got previously working with Mao and getting education to the Soviet Union. During the interwar period, he used to get education from Soviet Union, and then during the attack of Japan on Manchuria, he helped China through the Nationalist Party. While during the civil war in China, he joined Mao's Communist Party and started contributing in the Chinese flourishment. But in post-1949 era, under the rule of Mao Zedong, he was once again a contradicting figure in the history of China with the ruling party. Although he was a part of the Communist Party, but once again, in the same way as once he contradicted with the Nationalist Party, today, at that time, he was now contradicting with the Communist Party. He thought that instead of following or adhering ourselves to any single ideology, we must be practical. His famous quote is that doesn't matter either the cat is black or white, what matters is either it catches the mice or not. We must be purpose-centric. If something is very much fitting to our social circumstances, that's fine. And he well pointed out the issues in the Chinese society. And so, instead of the adherence of the communist ideology like Mao Zedong, he decided to be pragmatic and introduce his own version of economic, political and social system. So, although during the Mao's era, he faced various circumstances, sometimes inside the party and sometimes he was being ousted and oppressed and jailed. While in 1978 he got the opportunity after the death of Mao Zedong to come into the government and introduce his reforms. Now he decided, first of all, liberalize their political, economic and social system. Instead of adhering towards the communist ideology, he decided to give independence to the education system and introducing capitalist version, not as it is the Western capitalism, but with a few Chinese features. When the Soviet Union asked from them that what kind of economic system it is, instead of showing your compliance towards communism, you are going to far right. But Deng Xiaoping's response was that it is a socialism with Chinese features. It may not be the socialism that the West considers, but some of the features that fits to the Chinese society, we have introduced into that socialism, and we are a socialist community. And at the same time, he opened the economy of the China and decided to welcome the external investments. So, in the form of multinational corporations and enterprises, a lot of investment because of Chinese cheap labor was introduced in China. And economic zones were established in about 4 economic zones centrally, and the coastal areas were the point of focus in this regard. So these are some of the reforms in economically and educationally. Educationally, they decided to leave Chinese population open to the education. Either it is the Western one or the Eastern one, doesn't matter. And they got multiple experts, Chinese experts from the Western educational institutions. And in the same way, when investments were being introduced in the China, they also got technological ideas. And so the technological advancement also took place at that time. On the other hand, there were some land reforms. Instead of as a means of production, just lands being owned by the authorities. Now the lands were a bit loose towards the local people, and the people who were working in the lands were given the subsidies, and then the surplus profits that they got, they could own it. In contrary to the communist ideology that was introduced by the Mao Zedong. That's it from my side, and further my partner alias Erkan Tipu will present his understanding about the challenges and the impacts of these reforms. Thank you very much.